Found a way to connect to the internet. Welcome to the QAA podcast, episode 351. Marjorie Taylor Greene resigns. As always, we are your hosts, Jake Rockatansky,
Julian Liv Agar Field,
and Travis View.
Well, back in the trap.
Back in the trap. It's been a month. I can't believe it's been a month.
We can finally reveal it, folks. He's okay.
Yeah, I'm... After revealing it to my close friends and family, I can finally reveal to the audience that I am alive and all right. I've been bird watching deep in the Amazon. Obviously, I've come back with quite a few leeches, and, my haters are still waiting, in the shadows, obviously, listening among you. But I'm back, despite your best efforts, and I'm here to antagonize the audience once again. And by that, I mean thank them all so much for their well wishes, and, whoever reached out. If I don't get back to you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means I'm trying to prioritize, like my mom. And we don't talk about my mom a lot. We talk a lot about Jake's mom.
Really?
But my mom's cool too.
Well, tell us more.
Well, she's an accomplished woman.
I thought you said you banned your parents from listening to the pod. You've banned their emails.
No.
The shadow ban.
No, there was an early banning of my dad. This is too much. This is too personal. Okay?
Already too personal?
Yeah, he got unbanned. Okay, he got himself unbanned. He's a very good man.
Really?
Yeah. He just, he had some input early on about the podcast that I didn't appreciate. And as an insane oppositional defiance disorder and just generally bipolar human being, I was like, okay, Dad, great, you're banned.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you like that? And he's like, well, I don't really understand what that means. It's hard to do mod wars with your parents.
Yeah.
Because they don't really they don't have the chat room culture, so.
Most of the time, my parents really like the show. More often than not, the feedback that I get is really great episode. This was really interesting.
Absolutely.
Maybe some follow-up maybe some follow-up information, a link, so they'll send me, additional, my mom, ever the teacher will send me additional materials, like a lecture that she attended online, and which it's amazing. I love it. Never, NSTE, never stop teaching.
I think that my parents are definitely not online poisoned, and they're definitely not even North American in culture. So most of the time, I think they're just kind of worried. They're like, "Are you okay? Studying that stuff or being over there?" You know what I mean? They're just like, "Why don't you come to a country that isn't that?" Yeah. And honestly, I'm starting to see the wisdom. There's only so much you can resist the pull of anywhere but the United States, especially as it kind of collapses in on itself. And, the head of the DOD is just being kill them all. It's like Judge Dredd. It's a little too much like a B movie at this point, with just all the things that they tell you about third world countries, which I disagree with, by the way. I don't think that those stereotypes are correct, but it's look in the mirror. Every downside that you are pointing at these countries and saying they have, you currently have. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's just really inspiring to have watched you guys podcast for the last month. I had lots of moments where I was my girls, my boys, they're doing their thing. I love it. And other moments where I wanted to yell at one of you guys for something, but I can't remember what it would have been. Just some petty disagreement.
You've become like a parasocial listener to your own podcast.
Yes,
In
exactly.
the comments
I think I could be friends with Jake. I think I could be friends with that guy Travis.
That's the funniest outcome. That's the funniest thing that could have happened. Is that you've is that ironically you're fuck. You're like I would have challenged that this way. And you're the only person who listens to the show. I mean, I guess besides Annie, Brad, or Liv. But I have a feeling that neither the three of them has ever listened to the show and been like, that's something I'd push back on.
Yes, they fucking would. There's no way that doesn't happen in their heads. They just because we have them under our thumb and we know how to discipline on, the people we work with. They would never.
I experienced the like pinnacle of like disconnect. If we're on the spectrum of parents, I was with my in-laws all week for Thanksgiving. We had a fantastic
What do you mean the
time.
spectrum of parents?
Well, we were talking about your parents, and then we were talking about mine, and now I'll talk about hers.
Yeah.
Parent-teacher conference.
Yeah.
So... my in-laws are so unplugged. Like a couple years ago, I had gone, a while, like 6 years ago, I went over there for like a sort of like a milestone birthday, and I noticed that their TV was totally blue. And I was like, this is like, I think that the TV is like dying. And so I sent them a new TV, and this was like 2 years ago when I couldn't attend the Thanksgiving, but I came and I found, I was like, oh, how are you guys enjoying the TV? And they were like, it's great. And they had never like connected it to the internet. Like they basically had plugged it into the cable and it was like showing one channel. So I was like, oh, I'll connect it to like the internet for you.
Oh, don't do that.
This is like an age-old tradition. Well, to like, because they had asked like about streaming.
Oh, yeah. They were like, what about this?
Yeah, they were like, there's cable, which is like news and like country music, but then there's also like streaming and like,
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, all right, you guys are like all set up to go. I was like, you guys are all set to go. And they were like, we don't want this. They were like,
no, of course not.
I guess what happened is when they first turned on the TV the next day, it had like a different sort of like menu screen, like a different menu screen, because now it's like logged into the sort of like the Vizio app or whatever. And it was like completely bewildering to them. They were just like, just like make it the way it was.
You're not just sending them into tile country alone with no like, no weapons. And, you're basically doing like a reality TV show to them, sending them into tile country. So, and we're not even talking about, something classy like Roku City. You sent them to like Vizio OS.
I know. I realized as soon as I had done it, I was like, oh, I've made a horrible mistake.
You check them into like a motel that is only for sex workers, and you were like, have a great night. And the next day, they're like, I think it's haunted. We need to leave.
Well, I think what happened is they turned on the TV and there was like some sort of like holiday, like fireplace animation. And it was like very, this is like,
nice.
It was very bewildering.
Well, yeah, of course. They're like, I think a portal to hell has opened in my television. There's crackling fire and the voice of Santa is directing me to like kill everybody I love. Yeah, good. Get them off that MK Ultra shit.
A good buddy of mine was at his in-laws' place and he was like trying to get them to turn off the motion smoothing on the TV because all the parents have it. All the parents have the motion smoothing on.
They love to watch like The Hobbit at 60 frames per second and like and like it looks like a fucking telenovela, but they don't even notice.
Yeah. So and apparently he was like, and he works in entertainment and he's a cinematographer. So he was like, I'm telling you, like, he's like, this is my career. Like, I'm telling you, you don't want this. And apparently his like father-in-law looked him dead in the eye and went, it's my TV.
Yes.
All right,
Get your 36 frames back, King. Fuck these 24 frames per second cinema-oriented people.
Well, you made a really good point, Julian, while we were, and I guess we might as well get into this. We were planning on arguing about this at the end of the episode, but I suppose we could.
Why not get into it up front?
But we might as well get to it up front. But like, we haven't like seen Julian face to face since all of the like Epstein, emails and stuff came out. And Julian made a really good point, which is like that this is like the real Pizzagate. That like these are the pedestrian, like that like they are talking about the thing that they had to bake out of the Podesta emails.
Yeah, basically. Like those Clinton emails. I mean, like I think a way more interesting like part of those emails is the way she talks about like Muammar Gaddafi and like foreign policy. But of course, that's not what our favorite people, the QAnoners and the Pizzagators, focused on. They were like, oh, here's a mention of walnut sauce. Here's a mention of a pizza. Here's a mention of cheese. Here's a mention of hot dogs. Like this is what this all means. And then you get like way more emails released with way more implication. Like the entire ruling class like being like, okay, so you got the child for the weekend? Okay, great. I will be at your residence to have sex with said child, like, on this date.
Be like, here is the signed rental agreement. You've opted for the $200 additional coverage.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's insane. It's like, he was running like a fucking like Sixt like car rental, but for like teenagers. And you have all these people like talking to him like, hey, is Donald, is he going to sing like a stool pigeon? And then it's like, nah, he hasn't sung yet, but he's dirty. It's like all this stuff where you're like, okay, it's very clear what's happening here. And everybody in the ruling class, so many people at least, are in those emails directly. And there's nothing to bake. There's no game. There's no fun. There's the fact that this hasn't like yielded a new movement of truthers, the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene is now quitting, even though there was like essentially what you would call disclosure. But the problem is they baked Donald Trump in at the center. This man was their fucking Chiotis at the center of all this bullshit, the Pizzagate, and then the subsequent QAnon. So they're like, oh, well, how can we reconfigure this with the knowledge that he was like in the pedophile court? Like, I wouldn't say he was the pedophile king. I think we know who that is, a certain financier, and potentially the entire state of Israel. But I would say that he was in the court. He was in the court. No one liked him. He was the smelly guy, like, who's the cousin of like the queen, and you can't get fucking rid of him. And everyone's like, God, we have to have Donald at the party. I mean, I guess he does run a decent stable of girls. Maybe we can use his mansion to recruit underage girls, and he sees that more as like a, hey, stick to your territory in the business, type thing. I think like essentially, I think Donald Trump is a vicious pedophile and a horrible human being in every way. But I would also say like he might be a little too dumb to like be a logistics guy, which says a lot because if you've read the Epstein emails, the man is so stupid. He can barely write. It's insane. Like the way he writes and spells is just like, I know that like rich people can just be like, whatever, I don't need to make the effort. You have to make the effort to like decode my nonsense. But like he is particularly coming off as stupid. And Donald Trump is a sub level of that. He's like even stupider and more undesirable. And I'm pretty sure, he was just getting his stable picked because I don't think he has the logistics to be king pedophile. I think he's more, like our somewhat touched cousin pedophile. He's like he's Uncle Fester. He's Uncle Fester. He's never going to be Gomez. He ain't running the house. But yeah, so that's my take. And my judgment overall is that you've all been doing great. I mean, let's talk for a second about Annie's miniseries. Insane. So good. Annie and Megan have been doing such a stellar job. I've been listening to every episode. I can't wait for the finale. And, that is just, it's been just so, I don't know, heartening and beautiful to see that we were able to facilitate work like that with such like a couple of dang geniuses.
I know. Yeah. I love when I finish an episode and I have this feeling of like that I'm so much smarter right now. I have a more attuned understanding of the world at large. That, I don't know, that very satisfying feeling of just spending time with two very smart people sort of navigating complex topics. It's great stuff.
With no interruptions from us either, which is even better.
Exactly. When we exile ourselves, like the results are better. But, I mean, it has to be said, like if you have not subscribed to Cursed Media, you should go to cursedmedia.net and support these two miniseries. The one run by Liv with Spencer Barrows, and of course the two Kellys, our two favorite Kellys, Annie and Megan Kelly. So the work is just insanely stellar from, the kind of history of transgenderism in the medical environment and then in the political environment, treated with such care and depth. And then to have trad wives, the phenomenon of trad wives, and I think like the modern anti-feminist movement just more broadly put under such scrutiny by such great minds. Like you have to go and listen to Science in Transition, and you absolutely have to go listen to Truly Tradly Deeply. So yeah, definitely I'm gonna plug us because having become like a 1 month parasocial relationship guy, I will say like I actually do have my own credit card signed up for cursedmedia.net because we were doing the tests early, and I am a satisfied customer of our own business.
I am too.
So you go and do that. Cursedmedia.net. Throw us some bucks so we can keep doing good shit like this because I think that we've been killing it, and it shows that I can step away and everyone else is a genius, and that my intelligence and my self-regard is actually maybe slightly overinflated. So I'm gonna deflate slightly. I'm actually a normal sized human now. I'm not 6'2" anymore. I'm actually 5'7", and we can continue. And I'm balding.
What's wrong with being 5'7" and balding? Nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely. That's what I am, by the way. By the way, I am 5'7" and balding. I just have like the Air Jordans with the biggest air pocket in the bottom, and I'm like on a handful of medications like for the hair. So I'm working on the hair too.
Oh, I'm on a handful of medications for all kinds of other stuff. There's no shame in the game. I definitely did not mean to name your height exactly on purpose. I apologize to you and about 38% of our audience.
Funny that you use 38 because that's the size suit jacket we wear. A 38 short, baby.
Yeah, I was gonna say about the shoe game. You've popped out like so many of those Reebok pumps by just pumping it, and you're like, I'm not getting taller, and then they just blow out like poof.
No, you know what I do? I did get a pair of Reebok pumps. It was like one of the first things I got once we started to make like a little bit of like fun money with the podcast. I was like, I got some pumps, and they fit horribly. They weren't comfortable at all.
Yeah, small PSA. We do not have any fun money. All our money is unfun. We are suffering deeply.
They know I got a little bit of fun money.
No, you don't. You're up on the cross and you're getting lashed and you're getting whipped every day. And you're like, I guess my bank account has some cash in it. That's the only thing you tell yourself as you become like that guy in Game of Thrones that gets like tortured and his different like limbs cut off.
You know, off topic kind of, or I guess bringing it back to the topic. It's like, I think Epstein is like boring to people, like, because he got, you know, like Hillary Clinton. It would be shocking if Hillary Clinton was like in a jail cell, one, and then B, KHS'd in the jail cell, unalive, so we don't get shadow banned.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure what either of those means. Could you
go on TikTok?
Could you repeat the full sentence? But with the words Hillary Clinton?
So I don't know. I think that like Epstein, people were like, oh, yep, of course, he knew too much. But like, because of the fact that he was able to sort of escape, any kind of consequences, like his story isn't as interesting and sticky, mainly just that it's like real and finite and can't be speculated on as entertainment forever, you know?
I mean, I'm pretty sure what happened to break his hyoid bone was pretty painful, but you're right. I mean, he deserved a million years of torture and like to rot away in jail. Yeah, no, I mean, I guess there are no consequences. Like his soul has moved on to pedophile heaven. I'm assuming that's a thing for Jewish people. That's your only heaven. You don't have heaven, but you have pedophile
heaven. Can't say that.
I just did.
No, we believe in neither heaven nor hell.
That's what I'm saying, but maybe for one exception, for one type of person. Okay, I don't mean that, obviously. That was a joke. And Travis, you should probably, at this point, this is when you take away the controller.
All right.
You have to take away the controller because I've been fucking up your stats and I've been like wasting all your extra lives.
When I was in high school, in the Battle of the Bands, we played with this guy. There was a guy who had organized. He like had the rehearsal space and kind of organized the band. I hope he's not a fucking listener. Oh man, but low odds. But he was so bad at guitar, and he didn't quite understand how the instrument worked even. And so at all of our shows, we would just turn the volume on his amp down to like zero, so that he would play through the entire show and like have a great time. Yeah. And he had no idea that he wasn't outputting like any sound whatsoever. It never came up.
We need to do that to so many politicians.
I'm just saying that's what Travis is going to do to you now.
No!
All right.
Disappointed dad, all right.
All right, let's talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving Congress. She is the first QAnon member of Congress, and, she didn't make it 2 full terms.
She's evolving so quickly.
That's because she has actual principles. Queen, we stand.
No, we do not stand.
We stand.
We do not stand, he says.
No, so she still
sorry,
she still
I couldn't
says
hear
some,
you
some,
broke up. I
some,
heard Travis View stand Marjorie Taylor
my God.
Greene for her principled stance.
Yeah, I'm going to intersect you standing her with some of her comments about trans people. And,
okay. Nope.
Yeah.
Backing up. But that's not fair to do to an irony bro.
Wow. Julian brought a knife and Travis pulled out a fucking revolver.
He aimed it straight at my head. He's like, "What did you just say?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Dude, he fucking executed you like fucking. Oh wait, no, that's a spoiler. I don't want to give the spoiler away.
Oh, he's gonna kill me? Is that a spoiler that he's gonna kill me later in the episode? No, sorry, Travis, go ahead.
So for years, Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of Trump's loudest MAGA allies in Congress, defending him on everything from election denial to the impeachment. But this last year, as we discussed earlier, she started breaking with him on several high-profile issues. For example, Greene criticized Trump's strong support for Israel, calling the war a genocide.
Oh, wow. Is there a big complaint? You're going to juxtapose me? How about I juxtapose you with her saying that and you saying that she's bad?
Okay.
Travis has like a legal history with this woman, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I mean, he threatened to sue, and then it was all about following and not following on Twitter. So I think,
Yeah, I know.
Travis, it's not like he was like,
But she
up in
relented.
there.
She relented. She bent the
did.
knee.
Yeah, she realized, fuck. Is like, yeah, then she criticized. But so she also posed deeper U.S. involvement in strikes in Iran and on healthcare. She also, this isn't reported so much. She also broke on healthcare. She complained that Republicans had no real healthcare plan and were serving wealthy donors over the forgotten working class Americans. Very populist message.
Listen, if we just get her some trans friends, and she needs to first of all, she needs to wake up and become a proper fag hag. We need her to get more gay friends. Then they can introduce her to some trans friends. And before you know it, she's going to be like Bernie Sanders on health. She's going to be anti-Israel, and she's going to be anti-war. And we won't be had. I don't think she's as crafty an operator as Tulsi Gabbard, for example. Like, I think that if we turned Marjorie Taylor Greene around, and she was already like doing poly gym, like Zangief sex, so I'm almost certain we could get her on the right side of history on some of this other stuff. We did to MK Ultra Marjorie Taylor Greene.
You know, the funny thing is that, it's like Trump could tolerate, breaking on Israel. He could tolerate breaking on healthcare. But the real flashpoint was the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Greene championed a bipartisan push to force the Justice Department to release all Jeffrey Epstein-related files, even citing a discharge position to force a House vote, something Trump and GOP leaders had tried to prevent. Now, here's the thing. It's like, think about Greene. It's like I do think she's kind of nuts and conspiratorial and sometimes very vile and hateful, but I think she's sincere. She is a true believer in everything she does.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she literally was like, okay, she's stupid, right? Like, she fucking watched YouTube videos and was like, oh, Trump is fighting the pedophiles. But then as soon as she found out Trump was like in the upper court of like the cabal, like she was like, fuck this, and started criticizing him openly. And also, I think she apparently, like, there was a frustrated bid for Senate, but I'm sure you'll get into that.
Yeah. NBC News reported that this activity inspired Trump to call two senior Republicans to ask, what's going on with Marjorie?
Why isn't she not following the line of my big, fat, pedophilic, dumb government? Damn, it's like she actually got pilled. And this is the problem, you fuckers. Yeah, flirt with QAnon, Donnie. You know you're actually a pedophile. So it's like, it must fucking feel really weird to be like, well, I guess they're right about it. It's like, why did you even bring it up? Like, maybe stay away from the issue altogether. And now Marjorie Taylor Greene is like she's like sniffed you out. I mean, it took her a long time. She's not the smartest, but now she knows. I'm almost certain in private, she's like, Donald Trump is like a pedophile, like as part of the cabal.
But the funny thing is that she had to get elected to Congress and then be repeatedly attacked by Trump before. Maybe this Trump guy isn't saving the world. Like, that's what it has to take for someone like that.
But also, like, the sell-in wasn't there. Like, if Trump had been kind of being like, okay, Marjorie, listen, you're my queen. I can see you're very powerful. You're going to be, you have like a guaranteed spot with me. All I have to say is that I was, deep inside this Epstein stuff, but I was there to like observe and gather and plan for my future run. He could have totally kept her on his side, but he's so fucking lumbering and stupid too, and like just doesn't care about anything and doesn't pay attention to anything that, I think he allowed this friction to occur. I think if she had been proposed some form of deal, but in this case, it was like him being like, don't run for Senate, and also like, I'm not happy that you're criticizing me on Israel. And she was like, well, wait a second. Like, what do I get out of not being like, not realizing you're the pedophile, right?
Yeah.
So her brain didn't even have a good sell-in. So of course it's like, dude, she doesn't even, why would she do it? She has no incentive.
And it sucks because now she's going to be the next president.
Yeah, well, I will have called it like fucking 5 years. I don't know how many years ago during the run. I was like, this woman is going to be a problem. And I think that she will be running for like higher office at some point.
She definitely is not done. She's not stepping down to go back into private life, I don't think.
Yeah, well, we've seen how the American public reacts to a woman who falls over on the way to the car and a woman who's on Xanax all day. Mm-hmm. So now we need to see what happens when the American public is presented by a woman who can bench press them.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the secret sauce to get the first female president.
Yeah, is that she can fucking she could replicate the shot from the library.
Yeah,
in Dallas. Like, we need a president who can make that shot.
I think we're either going to be like in a Marjorie Taylor Greene future, or we're going to be in like The Rock is the president, or like, Matthew McConaughey presidency. And I can see both, maybe even both coming true at once, like having a dueling kind of back and forth, but the new back and forth is between like someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene and like a guy who's like has attended too many like self-help talks. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's like one is the dissociative answer and the other is fascism.
So the feud between Trump and Greene came to a head on November 14th when Trump took to Truth Social to withdraw his endorsement of Greene. He called her a traitor and then went on to give this classic Trump rant.
Before we get into this, like, don't you think it's fucking embarrassing for him that, like, he's such a bad judge of character? He has to constantly exile his, like, closest, like, this is a woman who was literally in front of a room of, like, women for Trump, rubbing a crotch of his cardboard cutout and being like, yum, yum, to, like, a clearly ugly and melting man. It's like, how did he fumble this so bad? He keeps fumbling, and then he's supposed to be, like, so smart, but it's like, well, why do you keep having, like, your et tu Brutus moment?
I think this is amazing, because this is a very rare sort of like example of a major politician / celebrity like publicly changing their mind super severely on something. Like, usually people are so ashamed to admit that they were wrong about something that, I don't know, people just, they end up reinforcing shit that's not true because that's easier than admitting that they were wrong. And Marjorie Taylor Greene saying, hey, I actually don't support this guy. Like, she was, like you said, she was rubbing the crotch. Like, I think that this is kind of significant.
I don't think she admitted she was wrong, though, and I think Travis made a great point in a previous episode, and I obviously hate to say that, but he made a good point in a previous episode, is like, she never admits that she's wrong, right? She just kind of goes, well, I came in promising this and this. Trump is breaking away from this and this. It's a bit like that Bill Maher line where he's like, I haven't changed, the Democratic Party has changed, which is like a huge fucking cop-out, because I think you're right, she is doing that, but she will never admit it, and it's not really like her whole modus operandi, right? Like, she's never going to be like, I was wrong.
Yeah, she's not changing her principles per se. It's not like going further left to, criticize Israel,
Well, she's going, no, that's just like principles, which shows that like the majority of politicians in American politics have zero principles. I would say Israel shouldn't be, it should be it should be like both parties, and they should both agree like these people have way too much influence in our government. Like, the Israeli lobby is insane and there's way too much money being thrown around. That should be
I agree.
Both sides of the aisle. So I wouldn't say that that's a leftist stance, but the healthcare thing, I mean, the fact that she's even like, hey, we don't have a plan and we're just stripping all these people of their shit and just tossing them out. The fact that she cares at all about that shows me that she's got like that little ounce of humanity that like probably also brought her into QAnon, where she was like, I don't want children to suffer. Like, like on some level, yes, she's stupid and what she believes is deluded, but it shows that she does kind of care, like in a weird way.
I think you're right. I think like hit the gym with like a couple cool trans girls and like,
first you need some gay friends. Like, she needs to go out a lot with gay friends before you introduce her to some trans people. And also, I would never. Those trans people better be paid a lot of money to even hang out around her. They would be like social workers, like for the American Stupids.
So here's what Trump said about Greene.
All I see Wacky Marjorie do is complain, complain, complain. It seemed to all begin when I sent her a poll stating that she should not run for senator or governor. She was at 12% and didn't have a chance unless, of course, she had my endorsement, which she wasn't about to get! Exclamation point.
Why was she not about to get it?
She wasn't about to get it.
Fucking prick.
I withhold love.
I'm angry on her behalf, like a girl boss like this, like being talked to like this by another freaking toxic male.
She's told so many people that she's upset that I didn't return her phone calls anymore, but with 219 congressmen, women, 53 U.S. senators, 24 cabinet members, almost 200 countries, and an otherwise normal life to Otherwise,
shut the fuck up. He's never experienced a normal moment.
It's otherwise normal.
Yeah.
I can't take a ranting lunatic's call every day. I understand that wonderful conservative people are thinking about primarying Marjorie in her district of Georgia, that they too are fed up with her and her antics, and if the right person runs, they will have my complete and unyielding support. She's gone far left, even doing The View with their low IQ Republican-hating anchors.
Oh my God, that's so funny to bring up right at the end.
Even doing The View.
He's like, listen, there's a lot of people I got to talk to, a lot of people every day. She cares about stuff. And instead of just calmly being a lizard-like politician who just, talks about quid pro quo with me, she's actually passionate about one or two issues. It's very exhausting listening to a female that has any kind of opinion about anything. Usually I can tell them, shut your mouth, and they have to because they're underage and I've trafficked them. But in this case, I will make one exception to say that this bitch... We need to get her out. We need to get her out because she doesn't agree with everything. She's gone far left. She's Whoopi Goldberg. She's basically in
She's
Sister
Rosie
Act 3.
O'Donnell. She's Whoopi Goldberg. She's all four of them.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be on Star Trek. She's going to be on Star Trek, and she's not going to be a Klingon. She's going to be one of those non-warring races. She's going to be a pansy.
She's back in the cube. Microchips and phones glued to her face.
She might be able to do a pull-up, but she's never going to pull up to Mar-a-Lago ever again.
She's going to do something, though. She's either going to write a book or have a channel or something.
I'll tell you right now, she's not going to write it, but she might have someone listen to her and put words in order. It's going to be like the bizarro version of John Fetterman's like insane autobiography.
I think if I were her, what I would do is I would go from politician I would do a reverse Trump, like politician to reality TV star, as opposed to the other way around. I think like following her antics, I think Americans would really, I think both political parties would tune in. I think that it could be a huge success.
Yeah, Marjorie was always meant to be like one of those like boot camp reality TV hosts, who's like, come on, you can do it, you slob.
Yeah, something fun. Some kind of physical competition.
Yeah, it has to be physical. Maybe like a new version of American Ninja Warrior, where they take out the Asian part.
I think she should do like the show could be called My Favorite Scene, and what she would do
is about your relationship to pornography?
No. But that is a good name for a pornography website, though. That is pretty good. So if you were one of our 15 or 16 listeners who is trying to figure out what to name your pornography site, you can have that. You can have that for free.
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten the bit that I was gonna do because I sidetracked to do like a secondary bit that I was gonna then bring it back.
No, I interrupted.
No, it's gone now.
Fuck, I feel bad now.
What was I talking about?
My favorite scene. It's going to be a TV show with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Thank you. Okay, so the show is that she picks her like favorite scenes and stunts from like action movies, and then regular people have to do it. Like for example, you get like Tim from Orange County to like has to do like the bus freeway jump from Speed. Like big stunts from big movies.
He has to be chased down the LA River by the Terminator while he's on a little
he has to do
bike.
like the motorcycle. Yeah, he has to do like the motorcycle jump.
Yeah.
Somebody has to do that. Basically, it could like just be scenes from James Cameron movies. Like you have to do like Aaron from Ventura County is gonna like fly this helicopter under the overpass. That would be so funny. And then she could become a podcaster. So then she could go, okay, here's how it's gonna go. It's like a weird reverse. So politician to reality star, then to podcaster, then back to politician. So looking at a presidential run, maybe, I don't know, 6 or 7 years down the line.
As much as I want people from Ventura and Orange County to get hurt very badly, I'm not sure that the James Cameron tie-in, it seems a bit limiting, like the show would have only a certain amount of scenes to work with. So I would go broader with that, but I don't disagree on the kind of like path of Greene. I just don't think she really has the chops to become a big podcaster. She's not that good at talking.
It's true, and I think it would be too much work.
I think that she'll stop at reality TV, and she probably won't. I bet she's so hard-headed. Like, I bet she's going to stay in politics, like, in some measure. But I think, maybe, like, through the scope of media, and then, like you said, give it a couple years and fucking wait until the Republican bench looks really fucking pathetic, that she could bench press all of them, like, together, that they all, like, are, like, Marco Rubio or George Santos or whatever. And then, time to run for president. In a country that's being pussified, she could run on that. Like, we need to depussify America.
Would you watch her if she streamed like COD on Twitch?
I would prefer not to watch her at all.
But like if she was like playing like a first-person shooter, like fast-paced competitive, like would you tune in?
No, because fast-paced competitive shooters, like they're not interesting for me to watch. If you played Escape from Tarkov, I would watch that.
What if she played like Daisy? She would never. She doesn't have the patience. We're cutting all this anyways. It doesn't matter.
No, we're not cutting it out. I think you have a really good plan to disable Marjorie Taylor Greene's political power, which is trap her in like a never-ending cycle of like unfinished games that are in early access, and she'll get so confused she probably won't bother us ever again. She'll just be talking about the next patch for a game that's like 19 years old.
It's like the harmful bots that get like kind of like dumped into like one level of reality lower that's like all AI. Yeah. So they still think that they're operating in the real world, but they're just like trapped in another world with like, other fake entities.
Oh my God, Travis, get us back on track.
So 1 week after Trump makes this Truth Social post on November 21st, Greene announced that she'd be resigning from Congress effective January 5th, 2026. So in Greene's resignation announcement, she seems to reference the two issues that caused her like a lot of friction: her unwillingness to be as supportive of Israel as other members of Congress, and her calls to release the Epstein files.
All of which Travis opposes.
Shut the fuck up.
Loyalty should be a two-way street, and we should be able to vote our conscience and represent our district's interests because our job title is literally representative. America first should mean America first and only Americans first, with no other foreign country ever being attached to America first in our halls of government. Standing up for American women who were raped at 14 years old, trafficked and used by rich, powerful men should not result in me being called a traitor and threatened by the President of the United States, whom I fought for.
Is she getting more beautiful? What swagger?
Wow, we've really come full circle.
Like I said, I think she's hateful and vile very frequently, but she has some principles. She also tied her resignation to Trump's attacks, saying that Trump's promise to support a primary challenger put her in an impossible position.
I have too much self-respect and dignity. I love my family way too much, and I do not want my sweet district to have to endure a hurtful and hateful primary against me by the president that we all fought for, only to fight and win my election while Republicans will likely lose the midterms, and in turn be expected to defend the president against impeachment after he hatefully dumped tens of millions of dollars against me and tried to destroy me. It's all so absurd and completely unserious.
I mean, that's a good point. She saw the future. So I'm going to have to fight a primary challenger financed by the president. And then they're going to lose because Greene is too solid in that district. And then after this fight, she's going to be in the minority in the House, probably after Republicans lose Congress. So she's going to be in this position where she has to use whatever power she has to support a president who actively fought to get her out of Congress. So she's like, fuck that, I'm bouncing.
Yeah, no shit.
I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, I think it's a smart move definitely for her. And also, I just want to say congratulations on taking this long to realize that you were surrounded by the pedos. You're a real fucking Sherlock Holmes.
I know. She had to be in Congress for 5 years before.
She was allied with Matt Gaetz, who has like actual like just look at the fucking Podesta emails of Matt Gaetz. Tell me you still want to ally with him. I think she is a little bit opportunistic, and I'm not going to take that away and say
absolutely.
No, she's just like an innocent person with a dumb QAnon belief system and hateful beliefs due to where she was brought up, or like stripping her of consequence or responsibility for that. I think there is a certain craftiness, but she ain't crafty enough to do high level politics, and she ain't like unprincipled enough to just accept that she's going to work for like the actual demon. So,
he had already called her a traitor. Like there was like, what's she going to do? Like go and grovel? Like she's like, perfect. Like I get an out, like I can pivot. She'll be able to make way more money. She get to work better hours. She won't be like restrained by, the fucking, the role of being in Congress. It's all a plus for her.
Yeah. She's a free agent now. She's not restrained by the Republican Party. She's not restrained by her husband. I would say if you work at a CrossFit gym in her vicinity, just be careful. You might have someone on the prowl. You might have someone looking for another Street Fighter character to fuck.
Yeah. So all guys who show up to the gym wearing their red karate gis, just be on notice. Yeah.
Nah. She'd fuck Ken first. Come on, man. Ken is like the perfect Aryan boy. She wouldn't fuck Ryu.
No. Ken is in the red. Ken is in the red.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I thought that you're gonna want to cut.
Why? Because people are going to yell at me for not knowing the Street Fighter characters properly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they yell
Well,
about.
let them come at me. I'd rather that than them yelling at me about other shit.
That's what makes them upset.
I know. Well, then they need to do some pull-ups of the mind.
Well, maybe they should. Another challenger appears.
Yeah, another challenger appears, and it's Travis, and I beat the crap out of that
Travis.
guy.
It's Travis with his next segment.
There's actually zero shot at this point. Like, I'm way too weakened, and Travis is being buffing up. Would kick my ass.
He's been punching cars.
I think there would be there's a fair fight between like three years ago. There was probably a fair fight between me and Travis. Now he would use his Viking strength on me and like subdue me, and I would end up being like the human furniture that he calls the round table, where he meets his other knights and they plot stuff like on my back.
And I've got too many gadgets.
Yeah, you would take him down, but like you would do like a Home Alone takedown. Travis would like step on micro machines and hit his head.
Yeah, I've got a lot of tricks and traps. I've got like a BB gun. I've got some melee weapons. Like I definitely, if you're coming for my PS5, it's gonna be a Home Alone style takedown.
You're gonna end up trapped in the little Ghostbusters box.
What does that mean?
Well, like you're gonna like point your Ghostbuster gun, and I'm forgetting all the stuff, but all the terms. But yeah, then you pull Travis into the box. You trap him in the little box. I don't know the name of it. Sorry, man. I should know it better.
It's a ghost trap, a little box.
I did rewatch the movie recently, Jake, and I have to say, Bill Murray is a real fucking creep.
In the movie?
Oh yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah,
he's a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah, they're like not good guys. They're like kind of the bad guys.
Yeah, that's true. The poor ghosts just want to hang out, eat stuff. In Slimer's case,
15 hot dogs at a time. All right, back to the show.
Yeah.
In Greene's video, she also made a reference that should be familiar to listeners of this podcast. She said that there's no plan to save the world.
Oh, man. Joe M reference, man. Was it her all along?
QAnon followers know this as the plan to save the world as a 2018 video by QAnon promoter Joe M, which many people cited as the reason they got into QAnon. They found this video so powerful.
Yeah. No, I mean, to this day, I stand by the statement that Joe M is the biggest mystery of the whole thing, including who is Q. I think at this point, the triangulation on that has gotten pretty tight. But like Joe M, nobody has a fucking idea.
Yeah, that's very strange.
The only lead is the idea that he was making some sort of reference to South Africa in his name or in his bio, but that was also a little bit tenuous.
I was gonna say, I can't believe that like some kind of QAnon hasn't come back, given all of the crazy things that have happened. You had like 2 assassination attempts. You've got like all of the stuff with like UFOs. You've got a Trump victory. Like it just seems like it's so interesting. Like you would think that this is they're wasting prime internet real estate.
Yeah, but Jake, Q doesn't give you a fish. He teaches you how to fish. And now everyone's fishing.
So what could he even offer, I guess?
Nothing. That's why he's not back. He doesn't offer anything. And the last time he came back, we very quickly triangulated it down to the Watkins, and it was very embarrassing. And so, yeah, of course, at this point, they probably also have their handlers being like, okay, pipe down. We got everything we wanted.
I still think maybe he'll come back.
Yeah. Well, you can have a dream, Jake, and no one's can take that away from you.
There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it.
Based, babe.
Deep state too powerful.
She has logged on to my heart.
I mean, this is like too fucking perfect, because it's like the way to make a QAnon follower like get blackpilled on the idea that like government is actually going to get rid of the pedophiles and solve all the problems is getting elected to Congress and actually personally working with President Trump. Once you're actually in there, once you actually see how it works, then it's like, then all of a sudden, then that's when the depression sets in. You realize that everything you came to believe by reading Q drops that your computer was a lie.
Maybe we could give like every MAGA person like a week in the government, like they could all go like on a, let's say like a work trip. It's like Birthright, except it's to realize Donald Trump is the pedophile.
See, that's what I think. I think it should be like jury duty, is that somebody just gets called up every now and again.
You got to go serve under Trump. Oh, you like him? Oh, great. Try bringing him his coffee every morning then.
Yeah. It's like, this guy is supposed to get rid of the pedophile? Something's not added up here.
Yeah, we need to put him in some sort of like there should be like a glass exhibit where you get to go and like sit outside of his meetings, like in a two-way glass, and people can just take a day trip.
Not to like lib out too much, but like we also, Marjorie Taylor Greene is somebody who has been in Donald Trump's like real orbit like recently. Like who knows? You see things behind the scenes. Like what if, he fell asleep and let out a real stinky toot or something, like really embarrassed himself in like a meeting.
That's why, yeah, you're like, there is no plan to save the world. This man just farted so nasty.
Yeah, this man farted so deeply into the couch cushion that I felt it vibrate on the other side. like this guy was waiting in like the wrong meeting room. Like he was waiting in the wrong room for like 2.5 hours, and like nobody found him because he like fell asleep and like he lost his phone. Just kind of like your most haphazard friend that's like always sort of like down on their luck.
Like getting crop dusted by an ancient Richie Rich will now be called getting Q+.
But yeah, like what's the reality of being with that guy? Marjorie is like young enough and I think savvy enough to be like, oh man, like this isn't gonna last. Like I gotta find that new wave and ride it or create it.
Yeah, I think she has kind of seen in advance the dead end that is like the possibility of having no schisms in MAGA. Like the MAGA schism is here. She has felt the first tremors of it. It's here, folks. I'm calling it now. She's a canary in the coal mine for it, and that's because she's so close that she's literally getting ground up by the gears.
Trump, for his part, celebrated Greene's resignation as great news for the country, insisting she was resigning because of plummeting poll numbers and not wanting to face a Trump-endorsed primary challenger. Trump also called Greene Marjorie Traitor Brown.
Yeah. Why brown?
Why?
Like
because green is good, green is lush, brown is an uglier color. This is the other thing.
Brown is poo-poo.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Brown, doo-doo in her pants.
Yeah.
Marjorie Traitor Brown has skid marks.
Charlie Brown. Like,
I love that he says like plummeting poll numbers, because that like they had to teach him to stop saying ratings. They were like, no, sir, poll numbers. That's what you're doing now.
Yeah, I know. Here's the thing, is that, like, I don't think she's, like, abandoned her conspiratorial worldview. I mean, she seemed to abandon just the prophetic component of QAnon, the hope that there's going to be a great grand day of reckoning and that all the evil will be washed away, and then, like, all that kind of stuff. But otherwise, I bet this experience has left her, like, just as pilled as she was as when she took office.
Maybe more so.
She just now knows. Like, I think her statement is very obviously like very calculated, and she's reading it off a fucking screen, which tells you that it's like a lot more calculated, let's say, than her videos about QAnon and how awesome it is and how true it is. But then also, I think in private she's now like, he's one of the pedivores.
I saw a lot of people pointing out that Greene is retiring after just over 5 years of service, which is the minimum threshold to receive an annuity payment through the Congressional Pension Program.
Get that bag!
This is for all federal employees. You need to work 5 years. But for 5 years of service, I looked this up, she would be entitled to 5% of her congressional salary. That's $174,000 a year, starting at 62. That means that she'd be eligible to receive $8,700 a year beginning in 2036. Now, Greene...
No, I don't think that's then that's
according to they've sussed out from her disclosures that she's worth about $25 million.
Yeah.
She holds a bit of NVIDIA. I don't think her congressional run is a part of a scheme to get like $725 a month a decade from now.
Oh, get owned, Blue Anon.
It's like,
Marjorie Taylor Greene had a 30-year plan to collect just under $10K for retirement.
No, it's just like she probably was like, this fucking sucks. And like, okay, well, if I wait till 5 years, then my shit vests and at least whatever. It's some kind of guaranteed pension. Even if I am rich already, whatever, it'll be like ice cream money. And she's like, I'll just wait for an opportunity to get off the train. And the moment like he was like Epstein hoax, she's like, okay, well, it's a perfect opportunity.
I'm done. And like, I'll just wait 2 years for like for the stuff to vest. And like, I'm going to, get a little bit extra again in like a decade plus.
I would think that way, but she's also not Jewish.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, welfare queen. She's pumping the government for all it's worth. But no, I mean, I think it's like Marjorie Taylor Greene, welcome to the gig economy. Like Marjorie Taylor Greene, welcome to like what it means to be a Gen Xer, like what it means to not be part of the boomer class. You have 25 million. You still have to switch jobs.
She'll have shit lined up. She'll have so many opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna hire her services immediately.
She'll be like a correspondent on CNN within like 6 months.
What, you don't think we have a chance of getting her?
I don't think we can afford her.
That's true, actually. Fuck. See, we should have taken our opportunity when she was just a downtrodden real estate mogul, like due to her parents' fortune.
I also want to talk about how the fact that a lot of MAGA accounts on the social media website formerly known as Twitter have been revealed to be based in not American countries.
This is hilarious.
In late November, Twitter rolled out an About This Account feature that lets users see the country or region where an account is based by tapping the sign-up date on its profile. And this is like, obviously not perfect because you can technically use a VPN or whatever, but like people are sloppy. They don't use VPNs a lot. And so pretty much instantly, online sleuths and researchers noticed that a lot of very big, very patriotic Stars and Stripes MAGA accounts with handles like Trump Army or MAGA Nation X, and they had all the flags and rallies and Trump avatars, were actually based in like South Asia, Africa, and Eastern Europe. Not the United States.
Oh, so now it's illegal to be an entrepreneur from a foreign country that preys on American stupidity? It's illegal to see the opportunity there?
I mean, this is also kind of a funny saga because like Elon created this environment like by creating these incentives where it's like basically not enough money for like most Americans in order to grind out engagement in order to make a living, but some other places it might be worth it to ground out some engagement.
Yeah. It's like, getting a little bit of that money. Like if you're in a place where your dollar goes way further, as in like not at the imperial core, obviously, like everything's eating itself. So just treat these as like your friendly neighborhood necrophages. They're just trying to clean up the dead flesh from our leprous body.
I just think it's so funny that American politics is like people who don't live here's like favorite online MMO to sort of play.
Yeah,
because it's like it's free. It's like free for the most part. I mean, I guess you could pay $8 a month for X verification and get your get your post boosted.
Can you imagine like you were part of like both your parents were killed in like the anti-communist purge, but now computers enough to like run like a fake Ivanka Trump account? Like you're gonna do it. Like it's like these people like. What are you supposed to feel like affinity and like, oh no, I'm degrading the American dream. Like, you never got it.
Yeah, there's this Ivanka Trump fan account. It's called Ivanka News, and it posts things like a photo of President Trump with the caption, "Describe this man in one word."
Fucking farmers, absolute fishermen.
Real gutter bullshit, like real engagement bait. But through these techniques, it got over 1 million followers, and they also claimed to be from Florida. One quote was, "I live in Florida. This is what we voted for." And it was actually revealed to be based in Nigeria.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I've never heard this country accused of such terrible catfishing and lies. And that next you're going to tell me that like the Nigerian church minister, politician, ER worker that I've been supporting monthly like all this time are fake, and they were just like doing the equivalent of like running up a tiny pirate boat and like trying to get a little bit of the action.
So it was actually it was suspended shortly after the location feature went live. One of the funniest and kind of like on the nose reactions, I thought, came from an account called Trump Army. And it was a big pro-Trump account, had about 500 to 600K followers. It was revealed to be run from India by the new feature. And then they copped to it. After this, they edited their bio. They said, an Indian who loves America, President Trump Musk. And they didn't disclose this previously, but you know what? If you are just a man in India and you just really like Trump and you're just expressing that on Twitter, I think you're wrong, but at least you're not insincere.
Yeah, at least you're not like kind of pretending to be, like a lead, like federal investigator, and not really correcting people when they assume it and amass hundreds of thousands of followers and get retweeted by politicians, podcasters, At least you're being honest online.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time, if you're in a foreign country where it can get tricky to talk about your own government, there's like zero consequences for getting involved in like online discourse about the United States. I guess unless you like threaten direct like terrorism or something. So it makes sense. It's like, I'd tweet about this instead of Modi any day. It's just like, hey, you're gonna watch? It's like American TV, right? Everyone watches the big Hollywood movies. This is the same thing.
That's so true. And it's like fun to kind of like root for Jabba the Hutt,
Yeah, or like whoever. I mean, to you it's like a fucking video game. You've never been here.
Yeah, it's just a big slobby big boy, and like you're defending him online, and people are like, how can you live with yourself? And you're having a blast. Like,
yeah, but people like sometimes will be like, oh, this is clearly like an Indian nationals or like Chinese nationals are like trying to affect American politics. I'm like, no, they're just like paying attention to the biggest show in town. It's like blaming them for watching like like John Wick 6, like come on.
They're like two types of people on Twitter that like talk about politics, and it's like the people who are like, I have the answer, this is what it is, without any qualifications, and then like the grandmas who are like, oh, thank you so much, like I've been trying desperately to make sense of this hell world we live in, thank you, for providing thank you for your hard work. And it's just like everybody like wants to be, like I said, like everybody wants to be like the guy in the van with the monitors being like, this is what's happening. Actually, this is what's happening. Let me break it down for you. Everybody just wants to they just want to tell you what's going on. And if you don't feel like making that up, then you're just a fan.
I support H-1B, like a digital H-1B and a digital naturalization for posters who like want to come to the United States only digitally and post online about how awesome Trump is. Like I think I support those foreign workers. It's a bit like working from home. You get to be an American national, but only posting.
My favorite, though, was that a lot of accounts, like, they just didn't react at all. There's one that was called America_First0. This is a MAGA account whose profile is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, and whose bio is just Make America Great Again. Now, the new feature says that the account is based in Bangladesh, and then it didn't acknowledge it. It just kept posting like right-wing polls, and even after the foreign origin was exposed. And you know what? That's also, I think, a valid reaction. Like, I don't give a shit. Fuck off. I'm still baiting these rubes over and over again. You can't stop me.
Yeah, based in Bangladesh, that's like all your clothes are made. That's where all your clothes are made by slaves. You don't think a Bangladeshi's allowed to like catfish America? Like, no, I think they have the right, and this is perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like interesting new feature by Musk and company. I guess this is like their happy medium. They want to straight up like start banning accounts, like MAGA accounts that they knew were just rage baiting and like engagement baiting. So instead, they said like, we're just going to expose the fact that a lot of these accounts are foreign, and then like the Twitter base can do what they want with that information.
I think that they should enhance it even further. So like every time Elon Musk posts, it says like, this is a South African pedophile. Then we'll be talking technology helping us all. Boys, it's really nice to be back. I'm really glad to be podcasting again. I'm gonna try to not disappear anymore.
It's all right. We got the holidays coming up, so we're gonna get into some fun, hopefully not super depressing content.
Yeah, and I'll be here for it. Thank you for listening to another episode of the QAA podcast. We've obviously got a Patreon. That's patreon.com/QAA, where you can subscribe for $5 a month and get a whole second episode every week, plus access to our entire archive of premium episodes. I will say that I have recently had issues with the Patreon app, and I would support not using the Patreon app on any iPhones, because they are taking a massive cut. Like Apple is now taking a massive cut of the subscriptions that go through there. So if you are subscribed through there, just, I would never encourage people to unsubscribe permanently, but like maybe unsubscribe and go subscribe through the website, just because that's easier. And also I've found that honestly, I've had frustrations with the Patreon app in general, but I would say that the best way to do it is through your browser on a computer, which is a little antiquated. Wish it wasn't so, but it's going to be the best way. And also like it'll stop Apple from fucking harvesting money that they don't deserve at all, just because they invented the word podcast. So that's an official statement. Go fuck yourself, Apple. Eat my shit.
I try to use apps as little as possible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take Jake's advice. Touch grass and sign up for annual with a credit card. All right. Obviously, also one last plug for cursedmedia.net. Go and check it out. It's our mini-series network, and man, I'm so proud of the work that's being done over there by like Liv and Annie and the whole team. So, and also big thanks to Corey for editing everything and doing such a wonderful job. You are a beloved editor, sir. For everything else, we have a website, QApodcast.com, and I suppose I will be the one to lead you out. And I promise to be here on the next episode. Listener, until next week, may the deep dish bless you and keep you.
We have auto-queued content based on your preferences.
I was called a traitor by a man that I fought for 6 years for. And I gave him my loyalty for free. I won my first election without his endorsement, beating 8 men in a primary. And I've never owed him anything, but I fought for him for the policies and for America first. And he called me a traitor for standing with these women and refusing to take my name off the discharge petition. Let me tell you what a traitor is. A traitor is an American that serves foreign countries and themselves. A patriot is an American that serves the United States of America and Americans like the women standing behind me. And I want to tell you that this only became possible today because the American people, whom we serve as representatives here in Congress, demanded that this vote happen, and they put more pressure on every single elected politician in this city than has ever been put on them. And today you are going to see probably a unanimous vote in the House to release the Epstein files, but the real fight will happen after that.